Joining us to discuss this further is Richard Fadden. He is a former National Security Advisor to the Prime Minister and former CSIS Director. Richard, you seem like the man we should be talking to about this. You said before that you believe a public inquiry into allegations of foreign election interference is warranted. With the creation of this special rapporteur position, do you think one would still be necessary?
Well, I'm not sure that anybody knows for sure because this special rapporteur route is the first time it's being used in Canada. The Prime Minister says it's going to be independent. I have no reason to doubt him. But it seems to me part of the key is going to be whom he appoints. And if the person is not utterly and completely nonpartisan, objective, and independent, it's not going to work. To my mind, that's the same definition that you would apply for the head of a public inquiry. So I'm not entirely sure why we haven't gone directly to a public inquiry as opposed to using this rather novel approach, which the Prime Minister has not really justified, to my mind, as opposed to having a public inquiry.
The current CSIS director said that a public inquiry wouldn't really reveal much more than what they've already testified at the hearings. So what more do you expect we could learn from a public inquiry?
The idea of the public inquiry is that you give the commissioner, whomever that may be, and his staff full and total access to everything. There are precedents for this in Canada. Given the nature of the commissioner, who has all this kind of credibility, the idea is he or she would look at everything, and then we would know when he or she makes the recommendations that they're based on the material that they've seen. I've never said, and I don't say now, that the public should be given access to everything. That's impractical. We can't do it for our own national security reasons, and we can't do it for reasons of our relations with our allies. But we've traditionally in this country used public inquiries when there have been material subjects of controversy. And I really have difficulty understanding why the government is so reluctant. I mean, they must have a reason, but it hasn't been made clear, certainly to me and to many other commentators, what those reasons are.
So then what do you think that, from what we've seen from the federal government, their approach here, their response to the calls for a public inquiry and them coming up with this special rapporteur position, what do you make of the approach we're seeing from the federal government? What does it say?
Well, I don't think they've been particularly active in responding to the threats that have been identified. Now, nobody likes to see national security secrets, leaked. And I don't think it's a good idea. But now that we have them in front of them, it seems to me that it behooves the government to actually do something. Giving this inquiry to two organizations, the Committee of Parliamentarians and the National Security Review Agency, then giving it to the special rapporteur will certainly take us well beyond the next election. And I don't think that's necessarily helpful. But I think, there is evidence in the new global stories of evidence having been given to the government before the 2019 election. Not a great deal has been done since then. And I think, like most Canadians, what concerns me most, not that the government isn't taking this seriously, it's the manner of their response, which doesn't seem to be particularly active.
So then, Richard, what do you want to see done then? What needs to be done in order to prevent further instances of foreign interference, attempts at meddling in our elections and our democratic process?
Well, first of all, I don't think there's a silver bullet. This is a big challenge, not just for us, but for our allies. So there are a number of things that we can do. The foreign registry, which many people have talked about, I think would be helpful. I think we need to focus a little bit more on the nomination process prior to the actual formal election, because that's not very heavily regulated. In the final analysis, foreign interveners have three real tools: money, people, and information. We need to get a better grip, I think, on the use of money in the nomination process. We need to find some way of dealing with the misinformation that sort of permeates everything right now, even well before elections. That's not an easy solution. That's not an easy thing to do. Other countries have tried to come up with a perfect solution and haven't yet. But if we don't talk about it and study it, I'm not sure we're going to get there. And then there's the use of people. You can have demonstrations, you can have people distribute pamphlets, you can do all sorts of things. So what I think you need to do is to have somebody in the short term look at these and try and come up with some solutions for the next election while either a special rapporteur or a public inquiry looks at it in the broader context. And in fact, I think we're making a mistake if we only look at Chinese interference. The government has already said that we're worried, we should be worried about Russian and Iranian, and there may be others. So I'd divide all of this up into two parts. Get somebody to look at something quickly, the next 6 to 8 months, and then give another group or the same group an opportunity to work through things for a year and a half, and come up with some long-term solutions.